Hey guys, for this video we're going to take a look at some LED headlamps that I recently picked up on Amazon. We're going to test how bright each of them are with this light meter I have off to the side, but first let's go through some of the features of these. Now on the left I have an Eveready 2-pack. They use 3 AAA disposable batteries, 3 batteries per light, and it has the adjustable head strap. And then on the right, we have Energizer. It also comes with 3 disposable batteries and the head strap. Now, apparently, Eveready is an Energizer brand. If we look at the back, you can see 2021 Energizer, Eveready, and certain graphic designs are trademarks of Energizer. So it would make sense that these things are extremely similar, but let's take a look here. So Eveready's on the left, Energizer's on the right. And very similar. We have a couple extra LEDs there where I think the Energizer also has a red light. At the top you have a single power button on Eveready. You have 2 buttons on the Energizer. Both of them you have to put the strap on yourself and they just weave into that plastic slot there. If we look at how they are adjustable, the casing along the back is exactly the same on both of them. The latch where you add the batteries is 100% the same. So a ton of similarities. However, the Eveready has 2 modes, just low and high. The Energizer lists 5 modes, which I'm not even sure what they all are, but once we get batteries in, we will find out. So let's look at that, and then we'll test out how bright each one is. Starting out with the Eveready, as soon as you click the button, right, you are on high. Click it again to go to low. Click it again to go to off. And it'll cycle through those every time we hit the button. So high, low, off, single button on top. That's your Eveready. I think I have this Energizer figured out. This is the entire extent of the instructions, so you really are on your own figuring this out, but we're going to do it together. So we have 2 buttons on the top right. The right button is the power button. The left button is like a memory button. I'll show you that here in a second. So hitting the power button, we start out with the red lights. If you wait more than 2 seconds and you hit the button, you don't have to cycle through everything. It just turns off, so that's why it did that to me right there. Now, if we click that button, you see all 3 LEDs are on. I believe that's going to be high. We waited too long, so we're going to have to turn it off. Back to red, back to what we were just at. And now here's low. Again, if we can see, all 3 LEDs are on. So red, high, low. We have reached 3 settings. So again, turn it off. Red, high, low, off. I think we're at 3 settings now. If we click this button to the left, that's your memory button, and it goes back to wherever you set this. Okay, it's kind of weird. If I press and hold this, watch which LEDs are on. It's hard to tell, but as I hold it, we're gradually changing between just the spot and just the flood LEDs on. See if it's better to look at it this way. So I'm going to hold the button. You see how it's switching from a spot to a flood? So wherever you release, that's where it's going to stop. And then the next time you turn it on, it's going back to whatever setting you had of that spot and flood. So that's how it works. Now let's get the light meter out. We're only going to test high on each one because that's probably the most important thing. But let's get all set up. Have all the lights off. The light meter is ready to go. We are going to measure foot candles. Take that, multiply it by this number here, and that's going to give us our lumens. Now, that's not some magic formula or anything. After a lot of testing, I have found that that number is pretty accurate with what turns out to be the lumens of different LED lights. We're going to do the Eveready first, and it's rated at 175 lumens on high. So let's go ahead and turn it on and see what we get. Hopefully you're able to see that screen. As with pretty much any LED light, you're going to turn it on, it'll be at its brightest, and then it's going to gradually dim. It's very common with LED lights. Starting to level off now, let's call it 335. According to my box, that is 119 lumens. The number isn't as important as the comparison to what we get with the Energizer, so let's do that next. The Energizer is rated at 315 lumens. Get it on high. Just using the right power button. Hopefully you guys can read the screen. We're going to give it a minute to level off like we did the Eveready. Now the Eveready is leveling off. Let's call it 610. Now that puts the lumens for our purposes at 217 for the Energizer. And remember, the Eveready was 119, so about 100 lumens brighter for Energizer. For a little comparison, I have this Gearwrench rechargeable light. The light on the end is rated at 30 lumens. When I put it in the box here, if you can read that, we're at about 76 lumens. So doing my calculation, that puts this at 27, fairly close to 30. For one last comparison, I have the DeWalt LED Spotlight on high. This is rated at 1500 lumens. I have to change the scale on the meter because it's so much brighter. So we have to add a 0 to the number we get. Let me actually get it in position here. Pretty steady, 4,300. Well, 4,300 is close enough. And for our calculation, that comes out to 1535 lumens. So 35 higher than what DeWalt says it is. So like I said, the light meter with my box setup isn't 100% accurate, but I feel like it's pretty close. It was 3 off on the low side, about 10% off for the Gearwrench, and it actually said the DeWalt was a little brighter. Now these came out much lower than their ratings, so I would say their lumens are fluffed up a bit on both of these. The Energizer is definitely brighter, and it has more modes if you care about more modes. But the Eveready came as a 2-pack, and the Energizer is a single. They both come with the batteries. They both come with the same head strap with the same plastic casing, essentially. So there it is. Hopefully that gives you a little bit more information on these headlamps. Thanks for watching.